One of the most precious gifts we can receive in life is the favor of God. God's favor is not just about wealth, success, or earthly achievements. It's about His divine presence, His mercy, His protection, and His guidance in our daily lives. When God's favor is upon you, things begin to change. Doors that were once closed start to open. Mountains that seemed immovable begin to shift, and you experience a peace that transcends all understanding. But how can you know when God's favor is truly upon you? What are the signs that God is actively working in your life? Today, we will dive deep into 7 undeniable signs that show God's favor is upon you. 1. Your prayers are answered in unexpected and miraculous ways. One of the clearest indications of God's favor is when your prayers are answered in ways that exceed your expectations. This doesn't mean every prayer is answered exactly as you hope, but often, you find that God's answers are far better than anything you could have imagined. Maybe you've been praying for a specific job, and instead, God leads you to a different opportunity that perfectly aligns with your gifts and passions. Sometimes He may close a door you desperately wanted open, only to open a much greater one later on. In moments when you least expect it, God shows up and answers prayers that you may have even forgotten about. This is a beautiful testament to His favor and faithfulness. He hears every prayer and works on them according to His perfect timing. Even when His answers are delayed, He's teaching you to trust in Him, shaping your character, and preparing you for something greater. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." If you see God answering your prayers in unexpected, sometimes even miraculous ways, know that His favor is upon you. 2. You experience a peace that surpasses all understanding, even in the storms of life. Life is full of challenges, hardships, and storms. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or discouraged when things don't go as planned. But when God's favor is upon you, there's an unexplainable peace that settles in your heart, even when everything around you seems chaotic. This peace is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of God within the trouble. It's the assurance that, no matter what happens, God is in control, and He is working all things together for your good. The Apostle Paul describes this peace in Philippians 4 verse 7, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace is a gift from God, and it's one of the most profound signs of His favor. You may be facing financial difficulties, relationship problems, or health issues, but you find yourself calm and centered, knowing that God is with you. This peace isn't something you can manufacture on your own. It's a supernatural gift that comes only from being in God's favor. Imagine being in the middle of a fierce storm, with wind howling and waves crashing around you. Yet, in the midst of it all, you are standing on solid ground, unmoved and unafraid. That's what it feels like to have God's peace during life storms. If you find yourself calm in situations that would usually cause stress or anxiety, it's a clear sign that God's favor is protecting you, surrounding you like a shield. 3. You see doors opening that you didn't even knock on. When God's favor is upon you, opportunities seem to find you. You may receive job offers, invitations, or promotions that you never even pursued. These open doors are not just luck. They are divine setups orchestrated by God Himself. God has a way of positioning you exactly where you need to be, even if it's not where you plan to go. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." God's favor paves the way for you in areas you didn't expect. Imagine being at the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, and seeing things fall into place effortlessly. This isn't by accident. It's God directing your steps and aligning your path with His purpose. It's His way of showing you that He is working behind the scenes, arranging every detail of your life for your good. These open doors don't always come without challenges, but they are accompanied by God's grace to help you step through them. Whether it's an unexpected job promotion, a chance to travel somewhere you've always dreamed of, or meeting someone who changes your life for the better, these moments are God's way of nudging you forward, propelling you into the next chapter of your journey. So if you find doors opening for you that you didn't even knock on, rejoice. God's favor is at work. 4. People go out of their way to bless you, even when you don't expect it. Have you ever experienced moments when people seem unusually kind to you, offering help, advice, or support without any apparent reason? This is another sign of God's favor. It's as if God places you on the hearts of others, compelling them to bless you in ways that you could never arrange on your own. This can come in many forms: a friend offering financial help when you're in need, a stranger giving you a word of encouragement, or someone providing resources or connections that open new opportunities for you. The Bible tells us that when God's favor is upon you, even those who may not know you are drawn to help you. Proverbs 16 verse 7 says, "When a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him." This means that God's favor can cause people who normally wouldn't notice you to go out of their way to assist you. This isn't about manipulation or trying to win people over. This is God's favor manifesting in your life. It's amazing how God can use others to provide exactly what you need at just the right moment. Whether it's a timely phone call, an unexpected gift, or simple act of kindness, these blessings are not coincidences. They are divine appointments arranged by God. If you often find people going out of their way to bless you, thank God for His favor, and remember that He is working through others to show His love for you. 5. Your challenges turn into opportunities for growth and success. God's favor doesn't mean that you will never face challenges. In fact, sometimes His favor is most evident in the way He uses your struggles for your growth and ultimate success. When you're walking in God's favor, your obstacles don't just hinder you. They teach you, strengthen you, and position you for greater blessings. Romans 8 verse 28 reassures us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongly imprisoned. Yet, through all these trials, God's favor never left him. Each setback was a setup for a greater comeback, and eventually, Joseph rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. What others meant for harm, God used for good. When you see God turning your setbacks into comebacks, know that His favor is upon you. It's often in the face of adversity that God's favor shines brightest. You may lose a job only to find a career that fulfills your calling. A relationship may end, but God brings someone into your life who respects and cherishes you. Health challenges may arise, but through them, you gain a deeper appreciation for life and discover the strength that only God can provide. These moments are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you, to mold you into the person God created you to be. 6. You receive supernatural protection and provision in times of need. There are times when you look back on your life and realize that God's hand was protecting you all along. Maybe you avoided a dangerous situation, received unexpected financial support when you were struggling, or found yourself in the right place at the right time. These are not coincidences. They are signs of God's favor and His supernatural provision in your life. Psalm 91 verse 11 says, "For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." God's favor often manifests as divine protection and provision, keeping you safe and meeting your needs in ways you couldn't orchestrate on your own. This protection is not just physical. It's emotional, spiritual, and financial. You may find that you're shielded from negative influences, kept safe from harm, or even experience miraculous healing. God's provision comes in many forms, from unexpected financial blessings to emotional support from friends and family when you need it most. When God's favor is upon you, you're not walking through life alone. His angels are guarding you, and His hand is guiding you every step of the way. Think of all the times you narrowly escaped danger or found yourself provided for when you didn't know how you would make it through. These moments are not just good fortune. They are divine interventions that reveal God's favor. If you've experienced God's supernatural protection and provision, take a moment to thank Him and recognize that He is always watching over you. 7. You feel a strong sense of purpose and clarity about your life's direction. When God's favor is upon you, you begin to feel a sense of purpose that goes beyond your own plans. It's as if God is guiding you toward a destiny that He's prepared specifically for you. You may not have all the answers, but you have a strong conviction that you are on the right path. This sense of purpose is one of the clearest signs of God's favor, as He aligns your desires with His will and gives you the clarity to pursue the dreams He's placed in your heart. You might find that your passions and skills are coming together in ways that feel effortless. Doors open that align perfectly with your gifts, and you feel energized and excited about what's ahead. This isn't just random chance. It's God's favor leading you toward the purpose He's designed for you. Ephesians 2 verse 10 tells us, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." When you walk in your purpose, you are walking in the favor of God. If you've been feeling a renewed sense of direction, don't ignore it. This is God's way of guiding you toward the destiny He's prepared for you. Whether it's a career move, a ministry opportunity, or a personal calling, God's favor will open the doors and provide the resources you need. Trust in His plan and keep moving forward, knowing that His favor is lighting your path. God's favor is a transformative force that can elevate every area of your life. It's not just about receiving blessings, it's about experiencing God's presence, guidance, and love in a profound way. When you see these signs, know that you are walking in God's favor, and He is actively working in your life. Don't take His favor for granted. Continue to seek Him, stay faithful in prayer, and remain humble. God's favor isn't a one-time blessing. It's a continual relationship with Him that brings peace, protection, and purpose to your life. If this message blessed you, please like this video, share it with those who need encouragement, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, God's Plan, for more inspirational content. May God's favor be upon you today and always.